Hey guys, it's LJ here. Thank you for coming to see me today. So, I'm getting out my alphabet mould again today, and I'm going to be making a necklace and earrings set. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 8 for the necklace, and I'm going to use the I for the earrings. We're going to add in some gold leaf in copper. I don't know why it says gold leaf and I keep saying gold leaf. It's not gold leaf, it's copper. So we're going to add in some copper leaf to it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it, so enjoy.
Okie dokie, so we have mixed up the resin and I'm going to add in the copper leaf to it now. What I found worked really nicely was with my gloves on, nitrile gloves, it doesn't stick to the gloves at all, which was good. Stuck to the metal spoon, but we'll sort that out in a sec. And the nice thing about leaf with resin is the more you stir, the smaller it breaks up. And yes, can we just gloss over the fact that it is everywhere right now, and I mean everywhere. Most of it's in the cup, and that's what I'm sticking to. So yes, I did a few more bits and pieces in, giving it a nice stir, and the nice thing about this, as you'll see, is that leaf actually floats in resin, it doesn't sink to the bottom, so it sort of gets spread out between the whole piece, which is lovely. So I'm going to start off with the figure of 8 down at the bottom, pour that in, only spilt a slight bit, we'll just move that over, and then we're going to move on. So that's for our necklace, and then we're going to move on. And I had a bit of a brainwave while doing this, which was, if I block off part of the H with clear tape, it will look the same as the I. Now I know that resin doesn't stick to the clear tape because I use it as a backing for my bezels. Had I done it beforehand, it probably would have been a little bit neater than my finished piece, but actually it worked out fine in the end. So I've poured in those 2 for the earrings, and then I had a lot left over because I was just enjoying playing with the leaf. So I poured the O and the 0, and then with the last little bits I made an L and a J for myself. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I don't know if to make them into a key ring or into something else, but I did make myself an L and a J, and then the 0.
Okie dokie, so we are going to take out our copper leaf letters. These are the tops of ice creams. Co-op do some, they're like cornettos, but they're not, and these are the tops, so I kept them. They're quite useful for things of this size. So we'll start off with the planned pieces. So the planned pieces were the 8, so we'll pop out our 8, which I'll explain what we're going to do with that at some point soon. There we go. That's very pretty. I like that it's clear as well. Get rid of that bit of dried. Nope, my fingers are not going to let me today. Then we had the eye. And because I didn't want to have to do this again and mix up another batch of resin, what I did was, in the H, I put some clear tape. And resin doesn't really stick to the clear tape, so what I'm going to be able to do, I don't know if I am going to be able to do it, whether I'm going to need to use my thing, is I'm going to be able to pull this off. There's a little bit of resin that's seeped underneath, which is making it really hard to get. There we go. So I can pull all the tape off, which did work as a dam. I'll need to do a little bit of work, but actually this is very thin flashing, which, there you go, is coming off in my hand. So the cleanup for this isn't going to be that bad. If I can sort of peel the majority of it off. Here we go, with my nail. You know, that's... Get off. Most of it's gone. So these are going to be so we've got the same shape and size once I've cleaned up this tiny bit. So this was my original plan for earrings and a necklace. Because I mixed up too much resin, because I was enjoying adding in the leaf so much, I also thought I could do something with the O, which is quite nice, and the 0 for the same reason. So there are the O and the 0. And then because, you know, I'm LJ and I quite liked it, I thought I'd make myself an L and a J. So here is my L and my J for my name, LJ. So yes, I'm quite pleased with all of those actually. So what I'm going to do is I will clean this bit off, and then I will create the jewellery with them. So I'll come back and show you that in a little bit.
Okie dokie, so we're going to start off with sanding our pieces down. So I have got out the nail file for the couple of pieces that don't really need it, and have got out my little electric drill for the H that wasn't I. And that sort of needed a bit of a clean up. As I said, had I pre-planned it and actually laid out the tape in the H neatly beforehand, I probably wouldn't have needed anywhere near as much filing as I had to do now with the sanding head of my drill bit. But it worked really, really well. So I've just sanded down the bump, and then made sure there's no sharp bits. What I tried to do was leave a little bit of an indent where it was raised, just so that I could do like a doming layer over the top to hide all of it. I did in the end actually dome all of the pieces, but I forgot to press record. Please make sure if you are filing or sanding resin that you're wearing a mask, because you don't want that dust anywhere near your lungs, especially with everything going on at the moment, but at any time you don't want it near your lungs. And then I've just cleaned everything off with a baby wipe, got all the dust away, and then I did, yeah, as I said, I did dome them. I've got another tiny little sharp bit on that one. So I did sort of dome it off to make sure they all had a nice smooth finish on all sides. But yeah, I did forget to press record on that one, because I'll admit I was watching The Crown and I was engrossed. Yes, that programme is really cool. Like, I want to know what part of it is factually accurate and what part of it is made up, because it's really interesting, and I think the actors are great. So this was after I domed them. I used again the little tops from the ice creams just to cover them up while they did that. So that's all of them domed nicely, and now we can turn them into jewellery. So starting with the earrings, I drilled a very small hole into the end of each bar, because they're just going to hang down like bars. And then the figure of 8, which is going to be the necklace to go with them, I drilled a little hole into each side of the 8. Then for the 0 and the O, I just drilled a single hole in so that I could turn them into necklaces. And the L and the J I left to one side by now. So again, with the baby wipes, just wiping up all that dust, because you don't want that dust anywhere. You don't want it in your lungs, you don't want it on your floors, in your house. You want that stuff away. It is bad for you. So there was me taking my respirator off because it was getting a bit warm. So I just figured out which findings I wanted to use with the copper, seeing which one I felt worked best. Sorry, I'll put my teeth back in. So I've got out a very small eye screw for all of the pieces. We're then going to screw them in. I went to get my tools, I think, at this point. Oh, and my E6000 glue. E6000 is amazing. You can use UV resin, and I do use UV resin quite a lot, but I'm running very low, and with the current climate, it's very hard to get any. I have ordered some, but it says it's going to be here in 6 weeks, so we'll see. And that's from Amazon. So what I am doing is I'm just dipping the end of the screw into the glue. Normally I would do that with UV resin and then cure it. The bonus is with this glue you don't have to cure it. It does take 24 hours to set hard, but as these pieces aren't being worn straight away, it's really not a problem. So I'm just putting the screw into the glue and then screwing it into each piece. So I've done the 2 earrings, I've done the 8 necklace, which I'm calling it an 8 necklace. It was supposed to look like an infinity symbol. It was my other half's idea, but unfortunately the 2 holes in it aren't quite right. But I still think I'm going to sell it as it's an infinity necklace. Yes, definitely. It's totally what I meant. So I'm just getting out some necklace, pre-made necklaces that I have for the 0 and the O. One is a nice smooth pleather band, and the other one is textured. So I'm just fitting the end onto the smooth one, because for some reason the end didn't come on that. Oh, I know why. I bought them without the end, so that if you had something small, you could slip it on. So yes, I have done those two. I'm then going to use a matching coloured jump ring to the eye screw to just attach it to the necklace band. And there we go, close the eye screw. I'm then going to pop it on its side so that the band doesn't end up in the glue, which is why I've just put the pot on top of it, just to keep the pleather band from moving around and getting stuck in the glue, because you don't want that, then you can't move it. So I'm going to do the same with the textured one and the O. I've done the 0 already. So those two are there, and then we're going to attach our earring hooks in matching colours to the bar earrings. Now I have put butterflies on the back of these just because they colour match. I know not everyone uses butterflies with dangly earrings, but I do tend to, because otherwise they seem to fall out of my ears. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but they do tend to fall out of my ears. So those are the earrings done, and then for the infinity necklace, see I keep going to call it figure 8, the infinity necklace, I've got out a couple of the wrong colour, it turned out, jump rings, so there we go, I have to go back and get the right colour, and some chain that matches. And I'm just going to do, I was just measuring it on myself to see how long I wanted the chain, and then I'm going to use my cutters to cut off the chain at the right length, cut 2 matching lengths of chain so that it is central to the necklace. Then on one of them I'm going to add on, oh sorry about the sunlight here, it was getting on during the day and the sun was quite low. So there we go, I've cut the second piece to match. Then on one of them I'm going to attach a lobster clasp on one end and the necklace on the other end, and then the other side I'm going to attach a jump ring for that lobster clasp to clip onto. So there's one side, and then we're going to add the lobster claw on there, and then on the other one there's our lobster claw going on, and then on the other side we're going to just add it using a jump ring to the chain straight onto the affinity symbol, and then we're going to add a jump ring on the end for that lobster claw to clip onto. And there we go, some nice finished pieces. With that glue I am just going to use my pin on the jump ring that the lobster claw is going into, just so that it is secure by the time it's ready to go. So doing up this necklace and then we will be done. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. I hope you are well. I hope everyone you know is keeping well and safe. Stay safe, stay indoors, keep crafting. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and give this a thumbs up. I'll catch you in the comments.